So we're back here with Kim.
Yes.
Kimoy Dice.
Yeah.
And we're going to hear more about her immigration story. So I'm super excited about that. And how do we know each other? We know each other because we know other people.
Connections.
Because we have connections. Because we networked. And that is how we end up knowing each other. I actually have been to your church before we knew each other.
Yeah.
I came to your church when Ayana was born.
Yes, you did.
We know each other through Jerusha, but then through Siobhan and Chris, right? So a long chain of people that got us to this point right here.
Yeah, it was destiny.
It was destiny. It was meant to be. But I remember when we saw each other for the first time on Zoom. Like there was a Zoom call, and she was like, "Oh, I know you. We were in New York.
Yes.
You had just joined.
Yeah.
Nick and I were in New York, and there's this business that we were a part of, and we were having a video conference call, and she saw me and she's like, "Oh, I know you," and I was like, "I know you too." Even though I had seen her a couple times at her church, but we've never spoken. And I was just a visitor to the church, visiting another friend. Another friend had a baby and she was doing a christening. So yeah, I saw you guys, and Dylan has sat in my lap before.
Yeah, he's very friendly.
I was in their church. Her son came and sat in my lap, and I was like, "Okay, there's a kid in my lap. All right, let's do this. Let's do it." All right. And then probably even a year later, or even more, then I met her, and now I know her, and now I know the children, and they know my name.
Yeah.
And it was through a person that led me to her, and then she introduced me to her business partner, Goody Fitzan. I don't know why I always want to call her Goody, but her business partner, Fitzan. So now we know each other and we're good friends. And that is how you kind of get to know people. You know people, and then they introduce you to other people, and then to other people, and then
Right.
That's the community thing, right? So we are a community all by ourselves over here.
Yeah.
And we're inviting.
And it turns out that we're all immigrants.
And it turns out that we are all immigrants.
Yeah.
And that is probably, I feel like birds of a feather flock together to some extent, where we kind of stick together. The Indians kind of stick together.
When you go in the room, you sit beside the person who looks like you.
Yeah. So at their church is a bunch of
very diverse.
Caribbean people. Very diverse amongst the Caribbean islands.
Yes.
So if that's an amazing community of people who have a similar background, not necessarily from the same country, but similar cultural background, immigrants, so they know each other's stories in terms of I was an immigrant and I know you were an immigrant, and at some point our stories may have had something in common in terms of how we felt or whatever. So that's how I know Kim. So for anybody who is looking to, there's a lot of people who are trying to migrate to Canada. Right now, the government is accepting 1 million new immigrants in the next 3 years. If you could say one thing to somebody who is on their way here, who is looking to come here, a brand new immigrant, one thing.
You never pay for the doctor.
Yeah, healthcare is free. You can say that. You can say it in English.
Healthcare is free.
Relatively free.
Yeah, sure. Right?
Relatively free.
It's not.
We're heavily taxed.
You know what? I've heard that Ford is trying to privatize healthcare now. So we're probably gonna have to start paying.
So our what is he? Premier? Is the Premier?
Yeah, the Premier
is trying to
privatize healthcare.
Privatize healthcare so that Canadians will have to pay for healthcare. We hope that never comes true.
Yeah.
One thing, if you could tell them one thing, one word of advice, one word of wisdom, one thing that you learned being here, even though you came here very young. It's going to be, of course, everybody's experience is going to be different.
Invaluable.
So anything of value that you could add to a brand new immigrant's life, or an immigrant that's already here even.
Connections are everything.
Networking, right?
Yeah. Yep. Networking. Meet as much people as you can. Network as much as you can. And don't burn bridges.
True that.
For real. Especially professionally. Especially the professional ones don't. You're always going to need a reference. You're always going to need a friend. You're always going to need somebody that you just, call, ask for a favor or something. Just network and never burn your bridges.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I think, for me. Because that worked for me. Like, I know a lot of people. Not necessarily say I can always call and be like, can you, but I know a lot of people and I can get information that I need.
Yeah.
Or if I need something, I know where to go.
What was it like? What was it like starting a business in Canada? Would this be your first official physical
location?
Wall and roof business?
Yes.
What was it like to start a business in Canada?
It's easy.
Yeah.
It's easy. It's so easy to start a business here. It's expensive.
Is it?
Yes.
To start,
to start a physical location at a location.
Well, so that's the business itself.
Yeah.
But I mean, just the process to get
easy.
A business registered or whatever.
It was easy.
Yeah. Right.
We went online. We researched, business development and how to register a business here, and then we found this place called Business Development Center.
Business Development Center.
They helped us with, the whole application process, with doing the search for the name.
Oh, okay.
To make sure that nobody else has it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we paid for the license, and that was it. Operational for 5 years. It's valid for 5 years.
That's pretty simple.
Yeah. So if you want to start a business, it's easy.
Yeah.
But just as easy as it is to start, it is to fail.
Of course.
So, I mean, you have to know what exactly you want. You have to know what it is. Like, you can't just be like, okay, I'm starting a business. You have to plan everything. You have to organize everything going in, because you will fail if you don't.
With any business.
Yeah.
Right? With any business, of course. Definitely. Do your research. Have the right kind of supports. Go in with the right mindset.
Yeah, definitely.
And you can succeed. I have no doubt. Church. You have a big church community. You're very active in church. And we not recently, but in the last year and a half maybe, have attached ourselves to a church community. And we find that it's very important, like you said, not just knowing people, but to have a community, a support group around you. Especially since we don't have family, we have church family. How is that? How did you get involved in the church? Was it through Dehane?
Yes, it was through Dehane.
Yeah.
We went to the church where his mom went to. So, yeah.
That's the current church that you go to right now.
That's how I met. I mean, I went around for a little bit. I shopped around, went to different churches. But that's the one that we decided to stay at.
And there's a lot of, what do you call it now?
A lot of options.
No, but at your church specifically, it's very...
It's a lot of Caribbean people.
A lot of Caribbean people. Yeah. A lot of people, so you can relate. How do you think, Kim? Do you like the idea of as told by Canadian immigrants and creating a community of immigrants to help current and future immigrants? How do you think we can help?
Well, be there, because a lot of times when people come here, they literally have nobody, and they come to family.
Yeah.
But right? and I think that's everybody's story.
Yeah.
It's always different when they come to the family that they've known forever. So to just have somebody outside that they can talk to about something is good. I like the idea of the channel because then they get to watch and see that you're not alone in this. Like all of us have gone through this at some point in time, so can do this, and then like later on you can talk about resources, like where they can go to find information on if they want to be a permanent resident, where do I go to find this? Or,
Yep.
you know, who do I go to? You know,
And we have our immigration. We have a in-house, how you call it, resident lawyer. We have a resident lawyer.
You know,
Stupart Law.
right?
Link is in the description below.
Shameless plug. So yeah, so like put them onto lawyers.
Yes.
The lawyer.
The lawyer.
The lawyer. Put them onto the lawyer. Put them onto social communities. So if it's somebody that's coming from Antigua, if it's somebody that's coming from Jamaica, put them in, you know,
in that community. Yeah.
You know,
and then
kinsmen.
Of course, you have children. There are people who will come here with children,
right?
And there's people who we know that have come here with children, and it's a little bit of a struggle. It's been and still kind of is a little bit of a struggle with how much daycare costs, right? And so maybe we know a budget daycare that's safe for your children and that's beneficial for your children, but still affordable,
right?
Because I feel like that's something that's we might have to create on our own, but it might be something that you know as a mother, right? So we now have the experience,
and where we can, because like there's, for example, Facebook has this group. There's these groups that I'm in on Facebook. There's this group for savvy moms. There's this group for boy moms. There's this group for like there's people that are on there that are literally just either selling or giving away stuff that they've used.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
like
so
cribs
to know
or clothing
to know that stuff, like, because if I have a friend, well, okay, when I first got pregnant with my son, my best friend already had a son.
Okay.
So all of his stuff, I got from her.
Nice.
I literally did not have to buy anything for my son up until he was maybe 2.
Nice.
And I'm talking even diapers.
Oh.
Yeah. Right? Because of the community. Right? So you can't, and that's why I said you cannot do this alone. You can't. And here, you know how people always say, well, I don't want no secondhand this and I don't want no... Hey, cut that out. Once you get to this country.
And secondhand here,
the secondhand
is not very good quality.
Yeah, it is. It's like maybe worn once or not even worn at all. And even with my daughter, and I have another friend who had a daughter, and I got all of her stuff too. And maybe 50% of them weren't even worn.
Yeah.
So it's just like...
And even if they're worn, the kid's gonna wear it twice,
and they don't even know who it came from.
They don't even know where,
and they don't care.
Yeah, it don't matter.
Them don't care.
You can wash the clothes. You eat from forks that people have eaten from all the time at restaurants. Fork and glass and spoon.
Think about that.
Right, because that's some serious stuff there.
Right. So I mean, it's just that, like, just community.
Yes.
Community is everything here. I find that the whole structure of this country, the whole structure of this country, is not
community
for, like, it's not for the lone people, like the people who are loners.
Yeah.
If you're a loner, you cannot make it here.
Yeah.
You need a community. You need friends. You need people.
Yeah.
Because everywhere is so far and everything is so expensive.
Yeah.
And it's a lot.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
That was kind of one of the reasons why when I sold my car, I didn't necessarily have a community when I just moved to the city that I live in right now, right? I sort of left where my aunt lived, moved out here, started working, and I went from work to home to work to home, and I didn't go to church, I didn't go anywhere. People would invite me out, and I'm like, do I have to take the bus there? No thanks, not going. If I don't see a clear way home and a clear way to the place, I'm not going. So I didn't really have a community.
Even when I'm driving.
Right? But I didn't have a community. But when I had the first car, I started to have a little community, but not a community that I felt like I could depend on yet, right? And because my car was a second-hand car, when it's second-hand cars, it's hit or miss when it comes to second-hand cars. And that one was a miss. And I found out 6 months after I bought it. And I had it pulled down like a Friday, because there was a sound I was making. I'm like, what is it, doctor? They're like, the AC compressor is going bad. I'm like, how long do we have?
Expensive.
Exactly, right? It was probably like a $2,000 fix. Okay. I'm like, how much longer do we have, doctor? Exactly. He was like, it can cease tomorrow. It can cease a year from now. I'm like, oh, okay. As far as I'm
That's
concerned, going to
crazy.
cease tomorrow. And I sold it because I'm thinking like, Nick wasn't here at the time. I don't, if I break down on the side of the road, yeah, you have CAA, which I didn't have, which is like roadside assistance or whatever. I never had any of that.
Yeah.
Who do I call? Who is my community?
Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters.
But yeah, it's true though.
Community is important. I had nobody
is.
to call. And maybe I did. Maybe people think that they are in my community, but I didn't feel like I was a part of a community where I could call somebody and say, yo, my car is broken down on the side of the road. In the winter, I sold my car in like in September, because it was like coming on to winter. I'm like, this car is not breaking down with me on the side of no road in no winter. It's not going to happen.
You know what? A lot of the times too, especially like what you just said, a lot of the times we think, okay, I can't call. Just call. The worst that could happen is they say no.
They say no. And you have to call several other people.
Yeah. But like,
community is important.
Key.
Yeah, and we're trying to create a community. Like, we don't know each other personally, not yet. Like, I've been talking to some people on Instagram. They message me and they're telling me their journey. Like, oh, I'm almost about to do my test, and they're keeping me up to date. And we're kind of like virtual friends, and we are a virtual community. And that you can join the community, you can watch these videos, you can take what you get from it. Not everyone is going to be relevant to everybody, but there will be one that will speak to you and resonate with you, and that will be of value to you, right? And then some of them are just plain fun. Like our charades one, you have to check out our charades videos. Okay, like it's been we're long overdue for something, right? Because we've kind of been disconnected for a little while. So a little is relative compared to like 100 years.
This is true.
So I think we're gonna play some charades.
Yeah, definitely. Let's do this.
She's very competitive, so I'm not gonna play against you. Like, we're on the same team, right?
Okay.
We're on the same team.
Okay. Thanks for letting me know.
I know she's a very competitive person. That's why I want to play with her.
I don't want to play this.
But I'll be on her
team.
team.
I can play charades.